Okay, so this is the finance section of the system. We are taking the finance section, we're starting from the fuel pricing section and explaining the fuel working concept on how to price fuel based on a branch wise and then a global branch section. So the pricing tallies with multiple price margins. We have the selling price, we have the cost price, then we have the margin and the effective date. Now, one interesting thing about this system is that your price has to tally with what NPA has set, that is the National Petroleum Authority. So when you come to set price and you select a product, so let's say I am selecting petrol. Now you would realize that the system is indicating something saying NPA cap, which means NPA capacity maximum is 15 cedis per liter. That is the selling price for petrol. So this is an assumption that we have entered into the system as NPA's price. So if the actual price is released by NPA, automatically it goes accordingly. Same as the cost price and other prices as well. So now we have the effective date that you have to set. So if you set your effective date from today, meaning when they are setting they are submitting a second report, that price tallies with the second report. And you can either select a company wide or a specific branch and give them their pricing. Now let's look at the credit sales section. The credit sales section is also handling all credit activities that occurred in a specific branch. So let's say you have 2 to 5 branches, you've assigned certain people to those branches to be receiving fuel on credit basis. When they go there, the fuel station automatically makes entries on credit sales for those particular people or companies. So at the end of the day, they receive their credit sale entries and they enter it into the system for head office to receive. So this is the dashboard as you can see here, credit sales. Then we have recording of the credit sales. So when you come here, you can select a branch, then you enter the product, the customer name, the customer phone number, the liters, the price per liter, vehicle plate, and sale date. Now, the reason why we have price per liter there, which you have to enter manually, is because the company might decide to sell that particular package to that particular company at a specific price per liter. So you get a chance to enter the price at which you want to sell a liter of that particular product to the company based on the credit section of the system. Now, the next part is the reports part of this. So, the reports part is simply the report management page that shows you the reports of every filling station that has submitted their report. So, let's say, for instance, this is a branch Kaswa with their session ID and their revenue. Now, let's look at this. These entries were submitted 2 days ago. So, let's look at their report. Now, this is it. So, we have a total revenue, liters sold, their deliveries, their variance is a -2 of a shortage of 2 liters. So we have a session, and the report has been approved with 6 sales in general. Total liters of 686 liters with a cash of 8,352, a credit sale of 0 cities, and a revenue of 8,352. So this is what is happening now. Now look at pump one. You realize that petrol, the opening was 406 and the closing was 502. They made a return to tank of 20 liters. Their net sales is 76 liters. And they entered an OCR, which is manually. Now, the OCR is simply explaining that when they pointed the phone to the screen of the pump, the camera was not able to detect the exact figure that was entered as their opening and closing. So, automatically, the camera the system records that as a manual entry, which means that you are willing to take a picture of the pump manually and upload into the system manually for head office to verify. Same as the tank diff section. So this is tank diffs with the opening and closing with their total variances, as you can see at the finance section. Now let's look at the management section. Staff. Now, the staff management section is where you add a staff. So you can add staffs by shift and assign them to their pumps. So let's say, for instance, I'm adding a staff. I can add a staff and select a role: pump attendant, HR, branch manager, finance manager, head office, administrator. Then we can create shifts here, so morning and evening shifts. Then we can assign them to pumps. So this is it. So this is Kaswa branch. Elemensa is assigned to morning shift 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And Elemensa is on pump one, nozzle one. So meaning all the sales on nozzle one, pump one is assigned to Elemensa. So you can see that on your report when report is submitted. Yes. And then we also have the suppliers. Suppliers are simply the people who bring the fuel to the company, like the tankers. So we have Central Oil Refinery, the contact of the supplier, the phone number, the deliveries they've made within the month, their liters they've made within that month, and etc. So they all show on your head office dashboard. Then we also have the maintenance page where you see all maintenance submissions by branches. So this is a pump breakdown from Kaswa. The branch manager's name is Lina, and she stated that PMS1 pump, that's pump run 91, has broken down. So the Muslim, the action is very high and needs a quick resolution. So when head office completes the resolution, they can now mark it as completed from here. So that is how the maintenance section works. We have the alerts and variances. So here it deals with fraud and variance alerts. So automatically the system has ranges of flagging sales and entries on fraud alerts and then normal variance alerts. So if the shortage is very high, it can flag it as a fraud alert because it might not be getting the reason why that there is a shortage like that, which is why every activity conducted in this system needs a receipt proof. So you take a picture of the receipt and upload into the system. Then we also have the normal variance section that shows you a variance, total variance, ABS, the net variance, the alerts triggered, and the records that has been made. So everything shows with the status. If the status is okay, you are good to go. If the status is not okay, then you know there is an investigation to conduct at that particular branch. The next one will be on the account subscription settings and then some informations on the Axio tools. Thank you.